We have make a decision and work on inner healing. Look at this. This is what we were talking about. This is the core of this reading. Make a decision. It's about decisions. We're learning that life is about choices, decisions, right? And we have vacation. I don't look at it as a vacation, as a travel. I'm hearing a journey. I'm hearing that you're afraid, right? So you had something in your mind. You had a vision. You had a dream that you wanted to achieve, a relationship, a family, right? With a specific person. And now things are not going the way you want to. And you know that this is not your person. So the right decision, the hard decision would be to walk away and to work on yourself, to understand why you gravitated towards this person, why you were so pulled by the vision itself that it stopped matter to you with who you're going to share that beautiful vision. But there's that easy choice that you have as well, which is to stay and to continue to build. And but it's like almost an obsession, the things that you want. And I feel like you're afraid of the journey. I feel like you're afraid, this collective, that if you're gonna walk away from this person, in your mind you're thinking that it's going to be so long before you meet someone new and before you build this what you've already had with this person. Maybe there's some finances as well. Maybe you already like made some decisions, or maybe this person is financially stable as well and you're already living together, right? So but the journey is all we want as souls in this life. Don't be afraid of the journey. The journey is what takes you where you need to be. You truly are standing in front of the easy choice and the right choice. And again, I always say this to you guys, we have free will in this life. We have free will, we can choose whatever we want. But if we really want to conquer this journey, if we really want to reach our highest, most aligned timeline, it's always the right choice. Sometimes right choice is a beautiful choice. Sometimes right choice is a challenging choice. But it's always a right choice rooted in love. Whereas the easy choice is rooted in fear. Let's do another, and we have move on sign. Move on at the bottom of the deck. Let's do one more row. Earth sign. So maybe that's your combination. Air sign, earth sign. I'm hearing it. I was seeing that that ladybug. Luck is on your side. They will help you. You're afraid, you're intimidated, but they will help. Move on. It came through. Move on. Move on. I was looking, you know what? I was looking at this. It's what says on this card is you are being used. I feel maybe you think to yourself that, if you're going to break it off, you're going to disappoint many people. Maybe this person, maybe they already had plans for you as well. Maybe you're going to disappoint your family. I'm hearing that maybe some plans have been made. Maybe for some of you, you're already engaged or you're actually planning to get married. You guys, I know sometimes it's coming to my mind, so maybe it's for a reason. Canceling a wedding last moment, or literally... Okay, running away from the altar. It seems like so dramatic and so unnecessary. But do you really want to tie yourself energetically, and also financially and through the legal system of this, right? Someone that you don't really see yourself truly in future just because we've already planned it and we've already bought flowers. How ridiculous that is. I mean, the whole wedding thing to me is absolutely ridiculous. It's just personal opinion. That's not a channel, right? A wedding is a union, is the most beautiful thing that can ever exist. Having a man to claim you, to propose to you, having that beautiful ceremony. But a wedding, like, gonna spend like gazillions of money and having tons of people to, like, what for? But my opinion, it came to my mind. But maybe also this is it. So many women are, obsessed with this. They don't really What we should want as a woman is a union, is a partnership with our masculine, right? Is someone to take care of, someone to nourish our life, someone to build with. And many women obsess these days with exactly that, with the wedding, with the photos, with the dress, with people, with flowers, with, right? And then it ends up poorly. And then you feel like a little bit like a fool. It's that energy that we went through in previous part, remember? I'm going to disappoint, I'm going to walk away, I'm going to look like, right, like a loser. A loser in the sense that I'm, right? I'm hearing Love is a Losing Game by Amy Winehouse. Maybe you like that song, maybe you like Amy Winehouse. Let's do 2 more pets. Maybe it's a detail, maybe you have pets together, or you want it, or you were about to get pets together. One more. Communicate. Compromise, forgive, work it out. There's this compromise again. Do you remember what we said? And it's a no. Look what we had at the bottom. We had a yes and we had a no. I feel you need to communicate more with yourself, with your soul, with your spirit guides. We talked about this in previous part. And sometimes, you guys, it's coming to my mind as well. We find ourselves in situations when we feel like when we take certain decisions, right, we're gonna hurt or disappoint people, right? But our life is ours. Our life is precious. There's a reason that I was saying to you what I said in previous part, that what you got as a soul in this lifetime is your human, is the time that this human has on this earth, right? And your job is to take care of it. And human has his own ego that wants to take over. And this is the internal battle. This is the journey of healing. This is the journey of spirituality. The ego is the armor of the shadows. The ego is attached to the physical world, whereas the soul is eternal. Soul is what actually owns the body, right? But it's difficult to control it because this game of life is challenging, right? So the soul wants to take care of the body, but the body is bound by shadows, by conditioning. So oftentimes, how many people does and lives certain lifestyle to make their parents happy, to make their parents proud, to make their partner happy? But what we're not seeing is that we're dealing with people who are wounded and bound by shadows and distorted. We're never going to make them happy, right? Your life is precious. Your life is precious. And if you know that this is the right choice to walk away from this person, even if you know you're going to hurt them, sometimes we can be the best person on the face of a planet, the love and light, really, truly, right? Someone who's healed, integrated their shadow, they're compassionate, they're beautiful, they're generous, right? You're still gonna hurt people. Why? I'm gonna tell you why, and remember this because this is gonna be important. We do not have power to cause any kind of emotion within a person. It is always within them. It is always within them, right? So when you do something, even if it is nasty, and someone feels a certain way, it is them who feel that way. It is them who don't know how to process an emotion. It is them who put themselves in that situation with us. Because if this person is not your person, they would as well see the signs and the feelings that you're not their person. You cannot be someone's person and that person is not your person. Do you know what I mean? Right? So you're actually doing them a favor by seeing what they are refusing to see. It's all making sense of the things that I said to you before. So as long as we're coming from a place of truth and love, okay, as long as we're coming from a place, the right choice for me, for my path, for my future, because I know you're not my person, and you communicate this with respect, with care, even if this person doesn't want to listen and you're going to cause a vortex of emotions within them, right? It is not on you. It is not on you. All we can do is to be act with integrity, act with truth, authenticity, communicate beautifully, right? Communicate with compassion, give someone space and love to process, time to process. But if they refuse to do that, we cannot sacrifice our existence because we're not going to make someone. It would define the whole purpose of life and of human existence. Your job is to make your human happy. Okay? All right. All right. What we want to do here, I want to pull a couple of these, and then I want to pull a couple of these emotions, and maybe we're gonna finish the spread. I'm gonna leave these two out. I want to do a couple of these as a guidance from your guides, what they want you to focus on. Let's maybe just do 4. Bigger picture again. It's a confirmation. This is my card of that bigger picture. Yeah. All right. What do we have? Okay. Beautiful. We have air and air sign and earth. Sorry, water. That's water. We have air, but a lot of air. So maybe that's a detail for some of you because we have a lot of air sign as well. And hold on. Hell with this. Come on. Sorry. We have the hawk. Hawk is about, it is the messenger of God. It is the messenger of truth, but it's also the bigger picture, the ability to be in the moment, focus in the moment, focusing on the details, but also grab the bigger pictures, like to zoom in and zoom out kind of energy, right? So when the moment comes, they will want you to be in the moment, to feel in the moment, to feel your feelings, to hear, to feel, to see the other person, to take the right decision, right? But to get that bigger picture, the bigger picture is what's supposed to lead you. There is a huge transformation that you're going through. Butterfly is that transformation. And why butterfly represents transformation? Because I often say this to you guys, the caterpillar almost dies when it turns into a butterfly. The journey of true transformation ain't easy. It ain't fast. It requires us to fully surrender, to release the past version of ourselves, to say goodbye to that caterpillar. It ceases to exist. It's a true death and rebirth. If you are too attached for what you have, for who you are, you will never fully transform. It requires trust. It requires surrender. It requires that true strength of a soul that says, I no longer feel comfortable in what is, so I would rather risk it and risk dying, but stay that caterpillar. Because again, the transformation of a caterpillar is so deep that as it turns inside of that cocoon into the butterfly, it almost dies. It's uncomfortable, it's painful, it's icky. Change is uncomfortable. We're suddenly starts to be a person that we don't know. We don't know what's out there. We don't know what's going to happen. But it's the meaning of life. It's where a soul wants. Because remember what I said to you, there's an avatar, there's an ego, there's a human who has an ego, who takes decision, who's bound by physical world, but there's a soul, consciousness that controls that ego. And there's a lot of internal battles. But the true purpose of life, it doesn't happen in one lifetime, it happens in a variety of lifetimes, but the true purpose of journey of life is to allow the ego to release, to grow, and to flourish to a high enough level so it can blend with the consciousness of the soul and operate in oneness. That's what we truly come here to do. To turn a simple, fragile, truly meaningless existence of that ego and that physical body into something that can transcend into the levels of consciousness of an immortal soul. And you have the power to do that. Turtle it's beautiful energy. It's one of my favorite cards. It's the wisdom of an old soul. And I'm also hearing a story, telling my story. What is it, the story that you want to tell when you're going to be older, when you're going to be approaching the end of this adventure, of this specific lifetime? What's the story that you want to tell? Are you really living right now that story that you want to tell? You're playing it small, this collective, and you know it. This is what you're realizing. It's also this energy with the hummingbird. Don't give up. Learn to reach our life. Is about ups and downs. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy, but you are in between right challenging choice or settling. Do you want to settle? It's like, seriously, you want to bound yourself to someone because you're afraid to have that difficult conversation? And truly, you only have to have that difficult conversation with that person, with your partner, because all the other people, friends, family, you don't owe them any explanation. You can literally just disappear and go off the grid. Send them a memo. Wedding's off. Just joking. You know what I mean. You don't owe anyone explanation. And how people deal with it is their problem and their shadows. Remember what I said to you. As long as you're doing these things in a nice way. I want to pull a couple of these for you as well as an emotions. Spread your wings. Spread your wings and fly. Turn into a butterfly. Enjoy life. You're literally showing me that if the easy choice sounds like an easy choice, but you're going to put yourself in a golden cage. You were born to be free. And just so it's clear, again, I'm not saying that, being in a committed relationship is shackles and it's cage. It's actually quite the opposite. And I always teach you guys, this true divine union is what gives us freedom, because it unites us with the universe through the true wholeness of the yin and yang, of the feminine and the masculine, but only with the right person. If it's not with the right person, it's always chains. It's always a golden cage. Sometimes it's not golden, but sometimes it's a nasty, horrible cage. But All right, I'm hearing a couple of things here. We have one shadow. We have, hold on. And 3 cards of light, which is beautiful. And they all sort of come together beautifully. So I was hearing certain things, but let's go for the shadow first. We have sadness. This is number 61, another air energy. Maybe you are feeling a little bit sad, a little bit disappointed, right? Because despite the fact that this is not the right person at this point, this collective, you wanted what this person was willing to offer. It was part of your dream and your vision, right? You wanted that marriage, you wanted that union, you wanted family, right? I am hearing traveling as well. So maybe some of you like to travel, and this person also likes to travel, and they can give this to you. Maybe you would travel together, right? I'm hearing that for some of you in this collective, there's a reason I said like golden cage and nasty cage. I feel like for some of you, this partner really can be like dodge a bullet, right? Kind of a situation. But I feel for some of you, it may be this settling in a sense that maybe this is a good person and maybe this is your friend. You do spend, there's actually a reason it's coming to my mind, but let's focus on that sadness. So there's going to be sadness. Endings are always a moment of nostalgia. They're always challenging. They're always difficult. You're going to be sad to say goodbye to certain things, to certain dreams. But remember, right choices are not easy choices. Sometimes they are. Sometimes they are, but the core of a right choice is there's a right choice. Right choice, sometimes it's easy. Right choice, sometimes it's challenging. Right choice, sometimes it's difficult. But it's right, rooted in love, rooted in our northern nodes, in our true destiny, in the meaning of life, in line with our values, integrity, right? And truly, if you think about it, what's coming to my mind as well, it is really unfair to be with someone that you already know that this is not your person. We all deserve to be loved fully, madly, deeply. If you know that you cannot give that to someone, but you want marriage, you want to settle, you want a family, you don't want to be alone, it's egoistic. It's not coming from a place of soul. Again, it's coming from a place of ego. I want to read that card to you. Sadness is an emotional response to disappointment or loss. At any event that we perceive as negative can awaken this emotion, sudden ending or change, a lack of change towards something we desire or hope for. When we don't heal and release sadness, it may turn into chronic pessimism, despair, or even depression. This prevents us from seeing things objectively and shifting our mindset to higher levels of consciousness. When we are healed, we trust we always receive what we need from the universe. All we've talked about. We understand that the belief that things around us are negative is just an illusion, as everything in life is neutral. It is our choice how we decide to perceive it. Everything that comes our way is a gift from the universe, carrying an opportunity of alignment. So beautiful and so true. Everything you needed to hear. Don't look at this as an ending, as sadness, as missing your opportunity. Look at it, thank you, universe. You have shown me that this is not my way. Something crumbled because it wasn't meant to be. I was building some house of cards on top of something that didn't have a foundation of true love, true alignment, right? And it's okay, there's going to be sadness. Don't suppress that sadness. Feel that sadness. I always say this to you guys, any breakup, any ending, we have to mourn. We have to cry. Even if you know that this is not your person, even that you know that this was not meant to be, but it was. And we have to honor the fact that it was, no matter how it ends, right? And allow ourselves that moment of sadness. We have 3 beautiful cards. We have intuition, number 6. We have intuition. We have sensuality, number 33. And we have romantic, number 40. And when I was hearing with this one, you guys, this is why I started telling you about that friendship. And I was hearing that maybe you realized that there is something within this person that is missing that you really want. So maybe you're someone that you are very sensual. Maybe you are quite romantic. You would love to, have a partner that you have great intimacy with, that is also romantic, reading poems together, staring at the stars, and drinking wine and going for long walks and dancing together, and saying beautiful things to each other. And maybe your person isn't really that. Maybe they're a great partner when you look at this ego part, like life partner. So someone who's good with money, responsible, who can give you like this future. But they don't really move your heart, I'm hearing, or your womb. and oftentimes when we are in a place of longing, when we want love, when we want family, especially women, because we're trained to want that from childhood, whether you want to accept it or not. This is the conditioning of our society, right? This is the objective of our life. Life freaking ends when we get married and that's it. Everything leads to that, which is nonsense. We oftentimes in search for that family, partnership, motherhood, right? We forget that we're sensual goddesses, beings of love, emotional beings. We love to be cherished, to be worshipped, to have someone devoted to us. We love romance. We're very sensual beings. And I always say this to you guys, in true soul connection, chemistry is wild and it never ends. In true soul connection. And we're meant to be. It develops, it grows, it transforms, it changes year by year into something better and better, but it never fades away. it fades away because it's a karmic connection. And I teach you guys this always. It's the best way to know. If you're with someone and if you don't feel like having intimacy with this person, or intimacy doesn't bring you fireworks of pleasure, and sometimes we have that with karmics in the beginning, right? It's a complicated thing. And, you know, if you guys want me to talk about this a little bit more, let me know. I think I've done some videos about this already. But in the beginning, we have to be drawn to our karmic, so that crazy chemistry can exist, because we have to be pulled towards them, towards those life's lessons. But if it fades away, it's because it's not our true soul connection, right? And this is how we know, because it's time to learn a lesson, and subconsciously our body closes. So our body stops receiving pleasure. Our body, especially when we're women, it no longer opens in a way that we open beautifully to receive with a soul, true soul partner, right? We close our sensuality, because as per divine order, we should not be intimate with anyone who is not our true soul connection. So obviously we all go through karmic relationships, but as we go through them, we truly believe that this is our soul connection, right? But the moment we realize this is not a soul connection, it is against divine law to continue to be and have intimacy with that person. So subconsciously our body knows, and it starts to close down, and we just don't want it, we just don't feel it, we do it as if it's a chore. That person doesn't move. That's something within us, that heart. And remember, the flow between divine and feminine, divine masculine in true union is between the heart and the sacral, right? So if us as women, we're supposed to move their hearts, and there as men, they're supposed to move our womb, right? And that's how the flow goes. We give to the heart, they receive for the heart, they give it to her through the sacral, right? I talk about this all the time. So I feel maybe you've recently noticed that this person doesn't do it for you anymore, but you have this all plan and the life figure out. And I want to read this romantic card to you as well. I'm guided to read this to you. Being a romantic goes so much beyond romantic relationships. It's about romanticizing life, getting excited about morning cup of coffee, stopping to stare at full moon, crying when reading a poem, and losing ourselves in the sounds of leaves in the wind. It is about full appreciation of the gift of life. When we are romantic, we love passionately and with dedication. We're not afraid of big words and grand gestures. We celebrate life at every occasion. We shower ourselves with acts of love, others with acts of love and kindness. When we are wounded, we perceive romanticism as cheesy sign of weakness. This is because our hearts are closed. We think it's unnecessary and fake, but in reality, it's a beautiful and sensual expression of our gratitude towards life and people around us. So maybe your person, that person, many times they would say to you, oh, I'm just not romantic, I'm just not, right? I'm just not the person, I just don't feel it. But believe you me, I always say this to you guys, men, when they are healed, when they are in their divinity, in their divine masculine, they are gooey and romantic. Okay? And when we love life, when we love ourselves, when we stand in front of a soul connection that we love, all we want to do is to be cheesy, to say beautiful words, to do grand gestures, to buy flowers, to buy chocolates, to bake cakes, to do things for each other, to massage each other. It's part of, and you deserve that. And I feel you want that, this collective. You want to romanticize life. And you're about to settle for something that is going to be very dry. You want to feel the joy of life. You're very sensual, you're very joyful, and you're very core. I think you forgot. It's a beautiful card. All right, you guys. I hope this was helpful. It's a bit of a different reading. The energy is very different. I feel this full moon is going to be really important for this collective. So make sure you feel into its energy. Definitely go to my Instagram, just like I told you guys in first part. There's a post about the full moon, and there's also some shadow work exercises in my stories, or maybe already in my highlights shadow work. So make sure you do these, contemplate, think about it, and more than anything, take the right choice.